Well, all in all, it's a fairly positive weekend. 4 points out of 6. You couldn't really ask for much more.
No, it has. It's been a pleasing weekend. Obviously, you're playing two tough sides in Wexford and Athlone. I genuinely believe both will be in the playoffs, both Wexford and Athlone. So it was always going to be a difficult weekend. If somebody had said to you before it, would you take 4 points from 6, you would. But now, after playing both games, I'm a wee bit disappointed for the boys. I thought we deserved maybe the 6 points. So I thought we put in 2 really good shifts in a really, really quick turnaround. The one thing that we haven't done is complain about it. We've just done it. And it'll be the same going to Cove next Friday. Again, it's a quick turnaround. That'll be 3 games in 7 days with that travel in it as well. But the team that we select in Cove will go out and try and give a good account of themselves. Like we have in all 19 games so far this year. We've given ourselves opportunities in games. Some we're disappointed with, of course. But overall, I've been well pleased. And as I say, this weekend was always going to be a tough weekend after the defeat in Kerry. And people questioning them, which I found strange because I have never questioned them because I know what group I'm working with. And to be fair to them, they responded, which I knew they would do because of the type of characters that I have in there. So for all the doom and gloom of the defeat to Kerry, we have had 2 really positive performances at home against 2 really good sides, and we have picked up 4 points from 6. And you know, I'm delighted for the boys because they stick together and they work hard, and they go out onto the pitch every week trying to give their best for their families and for the football club, and then also for the supporters. So for all the people that did question them about how they performed away to Kerry, you know, I think maybe hopefully the same people are maybe a wee bit more grateful of them over these 2 games.
Well, something we talked about, you know, kind of a few special nights for a couple of young players this year, you know, lads breaking through, Max Johnson, Darragh Coyle, you know, and another one to add to the list is, you know, Gavin McAteer, 15 years of age, you know, an assist on his home debut, you know, it's a fantastic occasion for him.
Look, he always, young players coming through, and it's not to give myself any credit because I haven't done nothing with Gavin as a player up until now, but you have to have a manager that believes in playing young players, and I don't have any fear of it. You know, it doesn't frighten me, and I think that helps the young player when they realise that there is somebody there who does have a genuine belief in playing them. It's easy for people to stand and say, yeah, we play young players, but it's very hard to do it, trust me on that, because you're putting a lot of pressure on yourself, but you're also putting a lot of pressure on the boy, and you have to believe that the boy's good enough. I believe he is. During the game today, I came out early at half time and walked over onto the pitch and put my arm around him and said to him, you'll play at some stage in the second half, so watch the game. It's a type of game that suits you because you get yourself into good areas. He drifts, he finds pockets of space, and I said to him, it's a type of game that will suit you because Athlone play a good brand of football as well. So even from half time, I had it in my head, and Gavin will tell you that himself. I had it in my head. I spoke to 3 players at half time: Success, Max and Gavin, and I said to Gavin, you know, this is the game that will maybe suit you to come on, so watch the game, watch and see where the spaces are, and then try and get yourself into them pocket spaces when you come onto the pitch, and that's what he done. He gets himself into a good area because he's an intelligent boy. He puts a great ball in, and it's a fantastic header from Dixie. And then in injury time again, he picks up an area in the middle of the park, and he sees a pass that maybe nobody in the ground sees, and that's things that you don't coach. That's just natural talent, and Gavin has it, but he'll be like the rest of them. We look after him, and there'll be times that you need to take them out to put them back in, because this time round it's different because he comes on to Kerry, and I thought he done really well down at Kerry, and then we took him out for a wee while, and now he's come back in this game, and because he's come on and made an impact, more people will talk about him. But he's very fortunate that he's got good people around him. You know, he comes from a really good family, and I'm sure his father will keep him grounded. There's no doubt about that. But Gavin's not the type of boy that needs to be kept grounded anyway. He's a very level-headed young man. Another thing that you find with young players is the maturity levels. I know he's 15 years of age, but he's a mature young man for 15 years of age. And again, it's the senior players in my group, when they're talking to you about him, then you know that you've got somebody that can play the game it was interesting. I think we were training here one night and we were doing a shooting drill, and he knocked the ball over the back of the wall and it was going away, and I went, "Mate, Gavin," and Collie says to me, "Murph, don't be shouting at him. That bike can make you a lot of money." So when you've got people like that speaking about him, it's nice. But and as I say, that's what's good for Gavin, to have the likes of a McNamee and a Colley and a Rainey in and around him who play in that area, that he can learn from it. It's great for him. But even though he's only 15, we just have to be careful where the talent. Again, look, I don't have to speak about him. We've seen his 2 cameo roles, one away to Kerry and definitely one here today. And the big difference about today is that he really impacts the game today. So look, delighted for him and delighted for his family, and I'm just delighted that maybe somewhere along the line we might just have a real gem, and that he's been fortunate because he's been working with, obviously Tommy Walsh and Russell Porter. And then obviously all the people that have done all the work with him in the academy, they're the ones that deserve, everyone will talk about Murph playing him. Yeah. It's all the ones that have done all the work. The only thing that I had to do was have a belief and have a bravery, and I have both, because I've worked with young players before and I've already shown this year that, the Dara Coyles and the Max Johnsons, they don't frighten me. So, and the young players will continue not to frighten me, and again, it's nice that it's maybe harder for other people to play them because the expectation levels are much higher at other clubs, and it's people might say, "Oh, it's easy because it's only Finn Harps." Believe me, it's still the League of Ireland First Division, and it's certainly not easy. But when you've got a belief in what you do as a coach and a belief in what you want to do with young players, then you've got to see that through, or you're not doing the job to the best of your ability. And I have all them things. If you're good enough, you're old enough. I know it's a real stupid saying, but it's true, and he's certainly good enough, so his age doesn't matter.
Yeah, and we're kind of seeing the tide turn even further with the returns from injuries. Obviously, Aaron getting another start there, and we saw Max Hutchison doing a bit of running before the game, and Kevin Jordan not too far away as well. So kind of positive steps in that direction too.
Fingers crossed. According to Nicola, we will have all back when we come back, which would be magnificent if that was the case. To have 24 fit players again would be brilliant. There's no doubt about that. Does it make my job harder? It certainly does. But I would rather be trying to pick from 24 than 15. So, and again, that's what's good about it. Max Hutchison we've only had for 4 games this season. We haven't had Kevin Jordan at all, and Conor Tours we've only had for 8 games this season. So if we were able to get all 3 back, it would be like really signing 3 new players, if truth be told. That's how big of an impact that they would have coming in. So look, fingers crossed we can get through the next couple of games, get to the break, get everybody back, and then dust ourselves down and go for the running and see who knows where it takes us. I don't know. I don't set targets. The only thing that I will say is that if we can compete in the rest of the games the way we've competed in the first 19, then I'll be a happy man.